Perfect. So today, thanks taking time to go over in this conference. We will be talking about project financials. So how industry utilizes Oracle project financials and what can be achieved out of that. So we will be talking about that. But before that, let's just have a quick look at Jade Global. So Jade Global was started in 2003, which provides uh, different service delivery solutions and is committed towards customer success. Jade has successfully steadily grown in North America, Asia, Europe, and have various multiple industry vertical solutions created for high tech, healthcare, life sciences. We are platinum partner, and our major focus since last 6 to 7 years is mainly on SaaS, ERP, EPM, HCM, PaaS such as analytics and integration, and OCI. We have a lot of Oracle certified excellency implementations providers, ranging in ERP, platform, OCI. Our core service ranges from advisory to implement all other managed services. And our core differentiator is more related to, I would say, deep product expertise in industry and technology escalators. So over here, you can see that we have 650 plus Oracle projects, 140 NetSuite projects, 410 Oracle specialized, 17 plus years of experience, as well as 80 plus user and technical conference presentations. Now, a little background about myself. I'm Oracle certified implementation specialist with 12 plus years of experience in technical configuration, design, analysis, delivery, and deployment. I'm certified on airspace planning, EPBCS, FCCS. Um, I'm more on kind of passion in building technical solutions, restructuring techno-functional collaborations, and I have done my master's in US. Just a quick note. So I'm going to share a link with everyone. So that way, we are going to conduct a raffle, and everyone is able to get that. So let me just quickly send the link to everyone. So whenever you guys get a time, just fill this link out, and at the end, we will kind of do a raffle and send Google Home as a prize. Well, moving forward. So the purpose of this is we will be going through the various planning capabilities for Oracle EPM Cloud, as well as we will be looking at what is Oracle EPM Cloud, what exactly is project financials, what capabilities this product has, and how it is helping the industry out. And then probably we will go into the actual module, how it looks like and what we can achieve out of it. So moving forward with that, Oracle EPM Cloud has various different offerings. So earlier, what Oracle did was they kind of introduced separate modules, but now they are kind of selling it into a one umbrella called Oracle EPM Cloud, which has all these modules which I have enlisted over here, starting from your planning, ARCS, FCCS, EPRCS, EDMCS, PCMCS, and text reporting. And out of all these modules, our focus will be specifically on projects, that how and where industry utilizes these projects and they can achieve what they are getting out of it. So where this project model is getting utilized, right? So if you see what are the specific challenges that the industry face that are kind of enlisted over here, where if I am a product company or if I'm a manufacturing company, a pharma company, and I'm deciding, okay, where should I put my money? Where should I put in what kind of initiatives? What kind of KPIs should I track? Should I look at how should I calculate my revenue? What are the financials and subjective areas that I should look out? What are the risks involved in that initiative when I'm starting out? Is this initiative going to be a long term? Then is it going to range over different years, how I will track it out, what are the full cost, direct cost as well as indirect cost associated with that initiative, and how I'm going to track that project and sync it with my financial plans and forecast approval. So all that are pretty standard industry challenges that any company basically faces. And to answer all this, uh, Project Financial comes as a superhero to save all these issues out. So if you look over here, Project Financials basically addresses uh, following issues where it calculates out your project financial impacts. You can do project planning based on your contract indirect as well as revenue based. You can do expense, indirect expense, or direct expense revenue inputs. It has out of box pretty standard things available, which you can use for your financial reports and dashboards. So these are some of the screenshots that you can see how pretty standard financial reports and dashboards which are available. So now let's look at more on kind of a industry standard, how most of the industries basically go through their project cycle. So first of all, they will go and define an initiative, right? So let's just take an example of a manufacturing industry or pharma industry. They are deciding that they want to introduce a new product, and for that product, they will basically have their initiative strategy initiatives defined. Then they will go and propose the entire plan project for that. Okay, this is the time frame that I'm looking, that I'm going to introduce that project. This is the costing that is going to come. These are the resources that are required. So similarly, each division might come up with different such kind of products, right? So they need to rank this out and see what kind of fundings are available. And based on that, based on the approval of this, they will go and monitor this products or this initiatives, and then finally update the forecast out. So that's a kind of a pretty standard cycle for full financial performance management. Now, if you look over here, this is how your EPM and ERP resource management comes into play, and they kind of work in tandem together. So when a strategy or strategic initiative or planning is done, that is done in your EPM, then you basically link it to your project financial planning module, where you get the information related to the new initiative or the project that you're starting up. You plan that project out. Once that strategic planning is done, and when the project starts implementing, your actuals basically are residing in your PPM, that's your project module in ERP, from where you can get a feedback to Oracle EPM to kind of track exactly where your project is standing with your actuals information. So accordingly, if needed, you can update out your plans that, oh, I'm lagging into this project, or I need additional funding, this product is way ahead. What kind of cash flow impacts will happen because of that product? So that kind of employee, job, labor, material breakdown of that entire project can be tracked in this level. So now your project planning basically gives you, Oracle basically gives you three different kinds of pretty standard projects to track on. They are classified as indirect projects, contract projects, and capital projects. Any company you take, they typically have 60 to 70, most of their company budgets going in indirect projects. So some of the examples are IT, R&D, market, kind of this, and they need to prioritize where they will be utilizing this budget for different projects, as well as what are the different stages related to it. Contract projects are more on kind of contract based projects, which are again classified into various different line items, I would say, like your fixed price, cost plus, time and material, project approvals, which are there in that. So now your contract is more on kind of a revenue based generator project, right? So if you are heavy on capex, if you are doing heavy capital investments, then you can have capex capital type of projects that can be there. If you are a service based industry, then you can have your fixed price, cost plus, or time and materials. Finally, the end project that is available is your capital projects, which is what I told earlier, that if you are heavily investing into capital, for example, real estate, or if you are investing heavily into new factory setup, then you might to have a run a project where you might need to do for material, label, equipments, asset acquisitions and all, right? So that will go in your capital project area. So in a summary, when you look at a project module, right? So it basically comes up with 4 different tiles or scorecards, what I call it. So they are your project summary, expense, revenue, and analysis. Now, project summary basically gives an idea about what exactly your company is performing, how your company is performing. If you are looking at a contract project or an indirect project, how they are performing, what kind of revenue they are generating, how the project is getting on. You can integrate that with your workforce module to get your employees and job codes into it. Expense and revenue are more on kind of input cards which allows you to do your direct or indirect expenses and revenues for that particular project. And analysis is more on kind of a pre-built dashboard available, which basically gives you real-time metrics like your NPV, IRR, or return of investment kind of thing. And then there is EVM available. That's your earned value management, basically defining where exactly your project stands and how it looks like. So if you look at overall detail, these are the pretty standard dimensions which are available. So Oracle has defined in projects that you can have 13 dimensions, and out of this 13 dimensions, you can have 3 as custom, but rest 10 dimensions will be kind of standard, which are your account, entity, year, period, version, currency, project element, and resource. These are kind of back integrated into your financials as well as workforce and capex modules. You can have 3 additional custom modules based on your requirements, and they can be configured the way you like it. I just gave an example of custom one module, which you can customize it to have job codes inputted out. So that's a kind of overview of your project planning. But if you now look from here, what are the typical activities end user will be performing on this? So end user will be going into projects module. They will be adding new projects, adding details. Okay, this project is going to start on this date. It is going to end on this date. This is when I'm going to recognize revenue over here. The type of the project is cost plus or fixed price. That kind of additional details about new projects they will be adding up. They will be reviewing or updating the standard assumptions. So you might have, let's take example of service industry, right? So they might provide resources for your different implementations or different professional services, right? So at that time, what will happen is they will have a cost rate as well as a bill rate associated with that. So all that rates can be viewed over there. Then you can plan out your revenue based on that, based on how many hours that person is working. So you can calculate your cost, that is basically your expense. Then you can calculate your revenue based on your bill rate. And if you have any unseen direct expenses that are occurring to a project, this tool actually allows you to input that out also. And they can benefit, they can plan out different benefits for projects module related to financial and non-financials, as well as at the end, they can review overall how that particular department or a business unit or an entity is doing by different set of projects that are that they have undertaken as an initiative, and how they are performing based on that. So that are some of the end user activities that a user performs on this particular module. I'm not going to bore you with the slides and all. So now I'm just going to jump on the demo and actually show you how the environment looks like and all. So this is how your Oracle ePBCS environment looks like. I have just configured over here projects module, and the configuration steps are pretty simple and easy. It's not like that any person can do it. If you go to a configure section over here, and if you select projects, so you will see that Oracle basically gives you a pretty standard list available. So you can see all different stages which are there, and you can configure that out. So you can just go to action, launch. If you want to import different projects, if you have a file, you can import it. to look for your basically the formats. You can just download that format out. You can set up your forecast preparations also. So if I go to my forecast preparations, I can say, okay, what my year will start from, how I want to forecast the projects out monthly, quarterly, yearly. How do I want to run my plan from what to what year, forecast from what to what year, rolling forecast, and I can set up my variables over here accordingly. So that basically is kind of a pretty standard feature available, which basically allows you to set that option out, and then you can set up your global assumptions also over here. These are more on kind of talking about the rates, which I talked about it. So you can see the standard rates which are available by material. You can set that up. You can set your overhead rates. So these are more on kind of your overhead rates, which typically occurs in any kind of projects that are there. You can set any discount percentage rates that you are applying to a project. You can set that. You can set working days and labor hours also if you want to do that kind of calculations. And over here, you can basically map your entire projects to your financial cube. So basically, you can define the different types of accounts that you want to map it out. So for example, I want to say that my contract revenue fixed price is more on kind of a service-based revenue, and it should be linked to a service account. So I can just link it over here. This is a pretty cool feature which basically allows the tool to create its own data maps in the backend. So as soon as a user submits the data for contract price, fixed revenue, either through calculation or through manual inputs, the data is basically automatically pushed to the financial cube, and it is available for reporting at a global level. So that kind of settings can be done. You can define various other mappings also over here. So you can define mappings which I talked about it. So you can select, and this all are accounts coming from your financial. So you can link that up. Now, if this is the configuration section of your projects, now if I go back to my project module and if I show you that, these were the 4 tiles that I was talking about, right? So you had project summary, expense, revenue, and analysis. Now let's go and look into deep about each of this module, what exactly this card offers and what are the details available in that. So if I go to my project summary, you can see this is the dashboard with which the user is greeted. So you can see all different types of contract projects that are available. Before that, let me just show you the hierarchy, how it looks like. So if I go to my dimensions and if I select my projects over here, you will see this is how my project hierarchy looks like, where it is kind of divided into 2 main categories, that is your contract and internal. Now, if I go further into contract, it is again divided into 3 main categories that I talked about it, cost plus. This is more kind of a percentage markup, time and material, that's a T&M project, and your fixed price, that is a lump sum amount project that we are looking at. And your internal is classified into 2 areas, indirect and capital-based projects. So if you have capital-based projects, then you need to make sure you kind of enable CapEx module. And if you have time and material or cost plus, and if you're service-based industry or it's more on kind of labor-based, then you need to make sure that you can enable workforce. And with workforce, you can actually plan it out at an employee or at a job code level or both. So that you can set it up in the system. Now, going back to the tiles, and let's go through the project summary. So as soon as a user logs into the project summary, and when he looks it up, he's greeted by this front page. And on the left-hand side, you can see various different tiles also. So this is more on kind of a contract project overview, which basically gives you how this particular entity by this project is performing. So you can see the total investment that has been made to this project, what is the return of investment, what is my billable versus non-billable, how my cash flow looks like throughout the years, how the FT utilization looks like, and how my revenue forecast looks like by expense that I can see. So this is more on kind of a dashboard preview that a user gets when he looks up at the project. They can look at a variance report also, which basically gives a comparison between expense and revenue, billable, non-billable, you can analyze further on this details. Then you can go to a project detail sheet where basically they can see what are the different projects that are running in the company, where what is the start date, what is the end date, are the project status approved or new or active, what is going on, when I'm going to recognize my revenue, do I need to use the standard rates which are available or no, and what is the rank of that particular project. So that all details can be shown over here. Now when I move to the next tab, which basically gives an overview of my indirect projects. So as I mentioned, indirect projects doesn't have any revenue that will be generated out of it, right? So you can see your expenses, what are the expenses, what are related to it. And then you can probably move to the CapEx projects where you can see what are the different capital projects that are running. So for this particular entity, what are the projects that are running? And at the end in this tab, it basically more on kind of shows the same rates which I showed earlier when I was configuring this thing. Over here, you can see the standard rates as well as you can see the standard rates by labor. So you can see what are the cost rates by different job titles and what is their billing rate that is available. So that way you can configure it out and the system basically gives you the capability to calculate the cost as well as your revenue recognition, and then you can basically configure your hours. Now, if I move to the expense over here, this is more on kind of your details where how the user will be interacting with a particular project, how they will be adding expenses to that project. So similar kind of the expense tab which we saw earlier is available over here. The user goes to your driver base and they can add expenses based on different projects that are available. So let me just quickly select one of the project. So over here, you can see that different expense assumptions the user can add into the system. They can go ahead and add what stage of that project is under, what type of as a job assumption I'm making, and this list, job title list can be customized as per need basis. Then if I know the employee details, I can have the employee names configured and configure that out. So I know which resource is getting utilized, what is the start date, end date, how that person is going to be utilized on that, which location that person is going to go. The location field over here basically helps us out to make sure what kind of rates do want to be utilized. Do we want to utilize on-site rates or off-site rates or offshore rates? That can be defined over here, what skill set that person is, and how the labor rate and the FTE that will basically give us the expenses that will occur for that resource which is available. Similarly, you can have your material, equipment, and other that can be added up. If I move further down, as I mentioned earlier, there might be some direct expenses that are coming, and you want to capture that expenses also in this module. So this basically allows to have any kind of direct expenses which you want to capture it out. So I can say at what stage. So for example, let's say in research, there was some other expenses which were there, which were not foreseen. So I can go ahead and just input that expense out. And once I input this expense out, you can see that this tool basically allows to kind of process back down or kind of push down whatever the value which is down, not only just to the quarter, but to the individual month level. So that kind of feature, pre-built calculations features are available over here. Similarly, this is more on kind of this more on kind of defines your overall project expense, what is there. So it's just running the rule in the back. So it just, now this is more on kind of your total overall project expenses. You can see by actual plan, actual versus plan, what is happening. So you can see my overall year to date values till June. What was the actual expenses that has happened? What was the planned value for that? What is the difference that has come up? And where do I stand based on the forecast for that product? So this kind of tab basically gives you an overall idea where are you standing from what is happening up. And again, you can just go over here and visit the rates, what are available and what you want to look it up. Let's say I'm a user, I want to go into the system and add a new project. And if I have rights to do that, then I can just go into action. And in that action, hold on, let me go at the top, go to action, add a project. And I can just say that, okay, I'm going to add a new project called test. And this project is going to start, let's say, from here, and it is going to run for multiple years till this date. So I can just add it, and if the system asks what type of cost plus project that I'm trying to add, how I'm going to recognize the revenue, what are this. So as soon as I hit launch, basically the system is automatically adding that new project which I have created in the system. So you can see now a new project which I just added up, test, has been added, and the details that I have specified is there. So now this project is available in my drop down list also immediately. So this project which just I added, it's available. So user can start doing their analysis, as well as any additions to new expenses, revenue that I'm going to make for that project, I can do that out. And you can basically set up an entire workflow process on this. So that makes sure that whenever a user is adding a new project, it is getting approved properly in the chain line. And then basically it's getting added into the system, and then users can start inputting the details about this project. Now let's look at your revenue section. So this is more on kind of your revenue section, which basically talks about how your revenue trends will look like. So from this particular project, what was the total revenue that was generated? What is my billable? And again, this can be, this dashboard can be customized, but you can modify these values out and have your own KPIs, what you want to set it up over here. You can see the breakdown of your revenue by expense. If you have on-site versus off-site, you can see that value also, what is the utilization and from where the most of revenue is kind of generated out. So all that details can be shown over there. You can look at your different revenue sections where you want to add details about it. Then you can look overall project revenue. If you have any direct revenue that has happened, which you want to just add it into the system, which doesn't falls in any of the category of labor, material, or equipment, you can just add that and input whatever revenue numbers are there, and the system is able to capture all that details out. And finally, at the end, it will basically at the end, this is basically your project revenue tab, which will basically show all the revenues that has been generated, how that project is performing, what is going on. So for example, for this, I'm looking at my contract revenue for this particular project. What was the revenue, what was generated? I can look at project profitability, which basically gives me how my project is doing, which gives my all my revenue as well as my expenses, what are the expenses for that project, and how my project is going. So you can see over here, based on the revenue for actuals, the project was 582 and the expenses were 699. So right now I'm in negative for this project, but according to my plan numbers, I should have been positive with $37,000 on that. So you can compare what exactly is going on, where it is lagging and all, and then further analysis can be done. And similarly, based on this project, you can project out your cash flows, how my cash in hand looks like, and where do I stand in terms of cash. So all that details can be seen over here, how much I'm short or if I'm surplus amount, which is available, that can be looked over here. Then finally, at the end, this is your analysis tab. This tab more on kind of walks you through your details about what exactly is happening at that entity or business unit or department level, right? So what are all the projects that are running and what I'm going on. So for, if I look for manufacturing US, this all the projects running. So the total investment has been made. This is my total expense. So overall, this entity is basically in negative. The cash flow is in negative. So you can look by business unit, by department, or by entity to see what exactly is going on. Where does it stands? You can go a level down. This is more on kind of your project detail analysis level, where basically you can see each status of every single project that is running for that particular entity. So you can see for manufacturing US, these are all the projects that are there which are running, and what is the status of that project, what was the start date, end date defined, what was the revenue, what is ROI on that, what is the payback period for that. That can be seen over here, as well as your profitability, benefits, all that can details can be seen. Similarly, this was just the project revenue section that you have seen. Now you can see your project profitability also, which basically gives you where does all the projects that are running, that is there. Similarly, you have your cash flow, which shows, and if you have any rolling projects that goes multi-year and you want to see their rolling forecast and rolling cash flows, that can be seen in this, where you see the rolling forecast of your project for 24 month, 36 month, 5 year down the line, based on whatever configuration that project is going through. And similarly, you can see the cash flow for that. There are further analysis tab which are available, which are more on kind of a user has the capability to download them as an ad hoc, and they can start doing further analysis for that. So over here, you can see your project profitability, cash flow, revenue, and your forecast. Then this is more on kind of your KPI sheet, which basically walks you through the different projects that are running for that entity, and where does that stand. So if you look at over here for this particular entity, that's my manufacturing US, for reporting currency USD, for all the projects for a particular program transformation, if I'm looking up, this is what my trends look like throughout the year from 15 to 21. This blue mark basically defines what are the different contract projects that are running up, as well as green is more on kind of an internal project. So this kind of gives you a holistic view of your approach of your entity, what initiatives it has taken in down the line, and where does it stands. And on the horizontal bar, it basically defines how long that initiative is supposed to run. So you can see that, for example, for this contract project, the value is this, but it is running from 0 to 9 months. This is your NPV comparison, and then you can see all different projects. This doesn't is really a nice chart, because you have a lot of projects that are running, and if you try to see by comparison, you will not be able to make details out of it. But again, this can be set up in such a way that a company having, or you can have projects running by department instead of entity. So that way you can have a proper graph which is displayed, and you can see overall ROI comparison for that particular entity. You can look at a program performance also. Basically, that gives you the details about how that particular program is running. So what is my total revenue? What is my total expense by all projects? You have the capability to drill down further into by project. So you can see this kind of gives you somewhat of data visualization feature. I can further drill down in my contract projects and see what are different contract projects that are running up. I can go further into cost plus and see what are different cost plus projects are running. I can further go down and look what are the different projects that are running up. Similarly, your cross project NPV, your profitability line, as well as your cross project expenses can be looked up, and all these are kind of your drillable capabilities, which allows you to further drill down and see what exactly is happening and where do you stand on that. At the end, these are your predefined forms as well as reports which are available from this module, which basically gives you the capability of running the details. So if I go to my direct expense, and I can see that this form is available, users have the functionality to do ad hoc over here, or they can download details about it. as well as in the earlier modules where in this, when we looked it up, if there are any specific details that the user wants to attach it, the tool basically gives you the capability with supporting details where a user can go ahead into the system and add additional information, which is that. So for example, if I want to add uh, how my so for example, let's say this is my cost that I'm saying, that cost one, which comprises of cost one and cost 1 2, and let's say cost 2. So this is what I'm trying to say, that okay, this cost is basically broken down by or I can say, okay, material A, import charge, okay, expo building charge, or all different charges. Basically I can define it and I can say how this cost is going to be calculated out. So that way I can define overall, I have different arithmetic operations are available. I can use plus minus details accordingly. And when I hit save, this basically saves the rate by your different areas. And you can see that it cell has been highlighted in a different color. So that basically gives you the detail that there is a detail behind it, and users have capability just to go to the supporting detail to see how the breakdown has been done or what kind of analysis have been attached to it. The users have capability for adding attachments. Users have capability to add attachments to it. So they can add attachments to that. They can have change history. They can see who modified what values from what this was there. This has to be enabled by a administrator, and our recommendation on that will be that we don't enable every time, but whenever you are running a plan cycle or something, then you can enable this values out. Now coming back to your revenue, these are some of the different revenue build forms. You have your EVM detail form, basically that gives you earned value details, how it is performing. So estimated completion date for that project is this. What is the, based on the PM, what is the completion date of that project? What is the impact that is happening? How much work that has been completed, and actual cost for that much completed work, what has been come around. So all that details can be available in this module and can be seen over here. Similarly, you can have different reports which can be generated, as well as whenever you are running a project and you want to have some certain announcements that you want to make, you can make that announcements through this sheet over here. And the tool basically gives you the capability of academics, which allows you to have your um, Oracle study material available. So if a user is stuck somewhere, they can go through this planning tools, which basically gives the idea what has to be done on what scale. So that's a kind of a holistic walkthrough about the projects module. Now coming back to the slides. So I'm going to open up the floor for questions. If anyone has any questions, we can take it and go through it. That's what I have for the presentation. I know I kind of ended early, but let me know if you have any questions, and please fill out the link which I have shared. So there will be a raffle drawn where based on that inputs, we will be giving Google Home to one of the participants. I think I might have bored you guys with this, so that's why I don't see any questions coming up. Yes, you can. So one of the questions that came up was, can you reconcile a planned project with the approved project, assuming you have built an integration with your project-based ERP module to maintain your project dimension? Yes, that is correct. You can reconcile that out, but there are some additional steps that needs to be performed out. because when you create a project in the system and when you load the data, you basically need to make sure that you map out the projects properly. So whatever the actuals versus plan that you are comparing, that can be reconciled out. So Prisha, I don't think we have any more questions. So I will give the control back to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much for your presentation. If nobody has any questions, we can go ahead and end the session. And if you guys are hanging on for the next one to come up, we'll do a brief intermission before the next one gets started at the top of the hour.
I think there is one more question that came up.
Oh, okay.
The
Go
account
ahead.
mapping config that you demonstrated, does that only work for Oracle Cloud Financials? That is for your EPM cloud mapping. So if I go back to the module over here, so you have your financials, right? So this is another module which is there, which basically has your financials. So you can actually link the modules together. So the data which flows from your projects to your financials will be linked by that account. So if I go to my data maps over here, let me show you that the configuration again, and probably I can show you the data exchange also. So if you see this data maps, this is basically where the integration is defined. So when I say project capital, when I run this, whatever the data from projects and capex, they are kind of interchanged. Similarly, you have projects to financials. So this is what I'm talking about, financials, where it will push the data to the financial cube in the system. Okay, great.
All right. Well, thank you so much, everyone, for attending. And again, thank you for a great presentation.
Thank you.